6 secrets to a happy relationship. Oftentimes, our vision of a relationship is to be joyous and happy with the person to whom we are relating to. Now, although this can be utilized in any form of a relationship, these things are especially true when it comes to a romantic relationship. But you can use these when dealing with family members, friends, your children, co-workers, or anyone else that you have some type of relationship with. The first, number one, is physical kindness. Physical kindness is when you show a person physically that you care for them. Physical kindness is when you are in a mindset where you know they've had a hard day and you rub their back, rub their shoulders. Physical kindness is when you know that they're tired, and so you take on some of their responsibilities to make sure that they get an opportunity to rest. Physical kindness is taking that person out for a walk when you know they've had a stressful week, or just to do it in general, just to keep the happiness going. Physical kindness should not always just be utilized when a person is in a distress moment, but it should be something that is done on a continuous basis. For instance, a week ago, my wife decided that we were going to, after I finished work, I came into the house and she had laid the rug down on the floor and started a fire, which you know is not her job, that's my job. Started a fire, had candles lit all around the room, had the television on a little sparkly little channel, and we had a nice dinner sitting there in a romantic moment. It wasn't because of any stress, it was just a simple form of physical kindness. Number two, verbal kindness. How you speak to your partner on a daily basis is very important. Although words of affirmation may not be your primary way of showing love or their primary way of receiving love, but to speak kindness to your partner, to speak kindly to your partner. When there's an argument, to never raise your voice and to have a discussion with one another about the situation and have clear communication. To be able to look at them on any given day and tell them how wonderful they are, tell them how beautiful they are. My wife has a tendency to leave Post-it notes all over the house, especially in my workplace, about how she feels about me and our relationship. I, in kind, do the same thing for her because I know that this is her showing love, so she will receive that love in kind. So you want to speak verbal kindness and to your partner, whether you are upset or whether you are happy on a daily basis. Mental kindness. Mental kindness is having good thoughts about your partner. It is not what you say, it is not what you do. It is what you think that creates what you say and creates what you do. The first Hermetic law is the law of mentalism, that whatever is manifested in the natural world first starts with a thought. And if you're always thinking kindly about your mate, if you're always thinking about them in the best light, then your words and your actions will follow. So you always want to think positively about the person that you're with. And even when there is a negative situation that is going on, you want to think positive. How are we going to remedy this situation? How, with love, can we fix this situation and come to a mutual resolution? So you want to have you want to show mental kindness to your mate. They will see it in your words and they will see it in your deeds. Now, this fourth one is a hard one for me in one area, but not in any other. To share with your mate without reservation. I share my hopes. I share my dreams. I share my emotional ups. I share my emotional downs. I share them without fear of any judgment. I share them knowing that they're not going to judge me because they share them with me. When two people are sharing without any reservation, with freedom, then you are creating a bond between the two of you that shall not be broken and cannot be broken. Now, the only place I struggle is I don't like to share my food. I will get you the same thing I got, but I do not like to share my food. I'm working on it, but to share without reservation. Number 5, be a virtuous person. You cannot think good thoughts. You cannot speak good words. You cannot commit to good deeds. You cannot share without reservations if you are a bad person. meaning that you have to have high moral standards for yourself. It is easy to say that I will not steal, I will not kill, but when you are thinking maliciously about your partner, you are killing them in your mind. You are not sharing with them in your mind. You are not being a virtuous person. And you should be this person whether you're with them or you're not with them. A virtuous person, anything that I would not do in front of my wife, I would not do away from my wife. You have to have the virtue within yourself to know that that level of integrity is just a part of who you are. That level of honoring your spouse is just a part of who you are. So being a virtuous person will help to make sure that you have integrity and trust within your relationship. Because without integrity and without trust, then your relationship will be doomed. So become a virtuous person. First do it for yourself, and then the overflow will connect to your mate. And the last one, number 6, work towards a shared goal. You should have goals that you have for yourself. Your mate should have goals that they have for themselves. But then there should be overarching goals that you and your mate have that validates and supports and brings about the greatness of the unit that you are committed to. You see, whether it is a financial goal, whether it is the buying of a house, buying of land, whether it is getting in shape, whether it is becoming better physically, mentally, and spiritually, whatever that shared goal that you and your spouse have, if you're both working towards that goal, openly communicating about your gains and your losses in that goal, and both of you having the resolve to lift each other up when one is down, or to lift each other up when both are up, so that there's nothing but ups. To have a shared goal between you and your spouse will help to bring you closer and closer to one another. So when you have all 6 of these working, and that shared goal becomes a reality, then you feel triumphant within the relationship. And you know that it could not have been done except for the greatness of the 2 of you being of like mind. So when you do all of these things, you will find yourself having a great relationship. The hard part is making sure that you are with someone that you can come to these agreements with. If you're already in a relationship, these are things you should discuss with one another if it's not something that just happens naturally. If there is an issue at any point of the relationship, because there are ups and downs, having that open, clear communication with one another, knowing that you're not going to be judged, will allow you to be able to resolve any of these issues that you might be facing. But if one party decides that they're not going to work on it, then the situation is doomed. But when both parties are working towards the goal of a wonderful relationship so that both benefit from it, these 6 secrets will help you to build the greatest relationship you've ever had. So always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.